I wanted to fly out here and meet with you. Basically, I just wanted to come and say that I apologize.
Nope. That would be a waste of time.
This is going to be good.
I think the meanest thing that I did was I said I didn't love you. That wasn't true. That was a lie from the perspective of pain.
I knew it. I knew that you loved me. I did. Like, I know that we had a great relationship.
Oh, shit.
What? And I didn't understand. Like, I was like, okay, whatever. But I knew it. I knew.
So you're telling me there's a chance? Yeah!
I can't believe that worked.
Wrong again.
No way.
Oh, no.
You're here with me where you wanna be at the algorithm. Just you and me.
Welcome to the show, everybody. Today, we're going to be talking about the first leg of Kody's apology tour. That's right, Kody's apology to Janelle. Now, even with my first clip, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Make sure you give me a thumbs up if you like that first minute. I expressed that Kody's intention was to come in, give a heartfelt apology, have the audience and Janelle, of course he's doing it for Janelle, have Janelle melt, accept his apology, and move forward. Now, I also acknowledge that there is a really, really, really strong possibility that TLC also wanted this apology tour to go well, because they need to keep the band together so they can keep the show going. So they send Kody out to apologize. The ladies accept that apology. They can keep everybody together, keep everybody interacting. The show will roughly make some sense, semblance of sense. That was the plan. However, when the audience and people who have invested an inordinate amount of time in not only watching all the Sister Wives episodes since the beginning, but went through the pain and description of how these ladies felt as they were leaving the family, watching Kody basically unravel after he's been treating them horribly season after season. When they finally decide to leave, now all of a sudden he's going even crazier. And for him to come back and apologize and have an easy road back in and, oh, you know, I think I just loved you, girl. When I said I ain't love you, I loved you, though, for reals. And, oh, I always knew it. The audience went crazy. And I think that there is kind of a bridge that we're not accounting for. And in this video today, that's what I want to talk about. Now, again, I am inviting anybody who disagrees with my assessment to go ahead, call into the show. I have a Tuesday night call in where I do a live stream where audience members can call in. You can leave a speakpipe.com message, speakpipe.com/mytakeonreality. Leave me a message. Let me know that you disagree with me and why you disagree with me. You can send me an email, leave a comment down below, interact with the video, and talk to other people. I'll be in the comments checking things out. All right. So I'm giving plenty of opportunity for folks to come in and say, James, you're wrong, and this is why you're wrong. Right? Now, with all that being said, what have you come up with, James? Here's what I've come up with. I think for a long time, we've kind of fallen into the description of this family that the family has given us. They tell us they're wives. They tell us that, you know, this is a holy sacrament in their religion. And we, out of respect, we acknowledge that and we pretend like it's something new and something different. What I am suggesting is that the story that they're telling, the situation that they find themselves in, is as old as time. We just know it as something different. We don't call, in the normal parlance, in you know, around the neighborhood colloquially, even slang wise, we don't call them sister wives. We just call this situation a side chick situation, side dude, side piece situation. What do you mean, James? What are you trying to say? Are you trying to slam them? No, I'm just making an observation. There are many different styles of relationships that, without placing judgment on the character and self-esteem of the participants, if we look at just the basic, raw, what it is description of these relationships, I think that the way Kody approaches his polygamous family, as well as the way Janelle has approached her version of polygamy, it's very close to what I would refer to as a side chick situation. Janelle is the ultimate side chick. She follows side chick rules. If you think about it, let's break it all the way down. When they first started their relationship, what was the relationship when they first started? Janelle didn't meet this guy and Mary in church. She knew Mary because she married Mary's brother. And they were the first polygamous family that they knew. And as callers have pointed out, people call into my show, stealing my thunder, as they've called into the show, and they've revealed during the first reaction videos at the after party, right after the show, as well as during some of the speak pipes and call-ins, they've revealed that, Janelle has always kind of been in the area. In one case, she says that me and Mary were good friends and they were my first good friend polygamous couple. Then she went on to say that Mary and I have never been friends and we will never be friends, which begs the question, why are you hanging out with somebody you don't like? And then it becomes strange that you're going out to secret lunches with somebody you don't like's husband. And let's be honest, like when Kody is going by to see Janelle and hang out with Janelle, maybe he comes home and mentions it to Mary, but Mary very well may have been thinking, okay, well, that's my ex-sister-in-law. That's my sister-in-law. So it's no big, no harm, no foul that Kody's going out to lunch with her. I don't like it per se, but what could come of it? Then all of a sudden, the two of them start courting and eventually get married. In which case, Janelle said, when I first thought I was coming into the sister wife situation, I thought I was going to get a best friend. But when I came in, Mary and I, within 2 weeks, Mary and I were at odds and having arguments and having disagreements, which tells me that one, the first presentation that they made as far as how polygamy works, the wives get a say, and if they don't like the person coming into the family, they can always reject that application and turn that person away, and they won't be allowed to come into the family. Well, if you are having disagreements with Mary a week or two after you come into the family, I'd be willing to bet that she didn't want you to come into the family. She just started voicing it. The second part, she said that, from Janelle's character, and people have even noted this, that she has a type of personality where she's non-confrontational. She just kind of goes along to get along, it is what it is. But isn't that a side chick position too? And if you are in a relationship with somebody and you aren't making demands in that relationship, you aren't holding any standards in that relationship, and you're just kind of going along to get along to make room for his other partner, which at the time was his legal wife, you're kind of falling into the side chick position. If you go further and you look at what they say and what they talk about, the way Janelle describes her relationship with Kody, he's my best friend. I feel like we could talk. At the same time, I don't like having a man. I don't want to have to deal with a man all the time. I just want to deal with a man when I want to deal with him. That's a side chick position. I want to have the access, companionship, care, and comfort of a man, but I don't want to have any of the real man responsibilities where I have a relationship with this guy. And here's the weird thing. In that agreement, it's understood that you're not, say, the first wife, but at the same time, you're not the first consideration. But there's also an implied agreement that the Brown family just didn't acknowledge. That because we are not in a super duper commitment and we're not committed that way, if something were to happen to him, I don't owe you that. You're not my first consideration. in the Brown family interpretation, everything is slated towards Kody. There's also a point where we talk about the breakup. Why did they break up? They broke up because of how he treated her kids. That was part of it. But when we peel back the layers a little more, and this is where I'm going to need you guys to come in and tell me I'm wrong. But when I'm looking at it and I peel back the layers, what was the disagreement with the kids that Kody had? The disagreement that Kody had violates rule number 1 for side chick etiquette. You don't talk about or mess with my family, meaning my wife. You leave my wife or my girl's name up out your mouth. You don't talk bad about my wife or my girlfriend, right? If that you're doing the side chick thing. Your side chick does not have the ability to criticize or hold to account what's going on with his primary relationship. She doesn't. And in this particular situation, her kids violated that first rule. They went after his wife. They started talking about Robin. And then I know I'm going to get some folks who may give me the pushback, but James, Mary was the original first wife. The way he conducted those relationships, the first 3 relationships, if we're going to be honest, he conducted all those relationships like there wasn't a primary wife. When he said there's no first wife, I don't think he was bullshitting. I think he was dead ass. There is no first wife. He treated them all like side chicks. Side chicks looking for a main chick. So when he was dealing with Mary, he would triangulate them and they could talk bad about each other. They could backstab one another. He wanted them at odds with each other at all times. He kept them fighting and arguing and fussing. He would go down and deal with Christine and do things for Christine to make Mary jealous and do things for Mary to make Janelle jealous. And if Janelle gets out of line, he sends Mary down there to argue with her. It is what it is. He treated them all like side chicks, like revolving side chicks. And then when he met and decided to marry Robin, Robin became the first wife. It doesn't matter what order you come in, is who you are when you get there. When Robin came in, she was his wife, and she was able to make demands. She was able to make rules. She was unreproachable. None of the wives could criticize Robin and what Robin was doing. Not to Kody. She was above all of that criticism because she was the first wife. She was the wife. She was his first consideration. Even to the point when Christine was arguing with Kody. What was she arguing about? She was arguing about not being treated equally to Robin. I'm not treating you equally. If he has a side chick, he's going to say, I'm not treating you equally to my wife. You're not my wife. That's my wife. Don't talk bad about my wife. No, you're not getting everything my wife gets. Even Christine, like, oh, could you go down and watch the kids while I go to work? I'm not coming down there and watching your kids because you want more than everybody else is getting. But he was giving more to Robin. Yeah, because Robin is his wife. Robin is his first consideration. Clearly, Christine wasn't and never was. That's also part of it, too, is that when we listen to it, we're taking them at their word. So when they say, this is his wife, these are his kids from his wife, we're seeing them all on equal plane. In a side chick situation, like I said, when you come into that relationship as the side chick, the side dude, the side piece, however you want to term it, the mistress, whatever, when you come into that type of relationship, there's a recognition that you are never the first consideration. And by default, your kids and offspring are never the first consideration. When Kody looked at Christine and she was asking Kody to go to Isabel's surgery, and he looked her in the face and said on camera, I can't be away from my family for that long. We were all outraged. Oh my goodness, I can't believe he said that. Oh, wow. He doesn't recognize that Isabel is his family. Isabel's not part of the first family. And I know this is hard. And I know this is like a rough way to say it. But we have to kind of peel it back and call it for what it is. And I think that that's where I'm at when I'm watching this, and I understand now. I have a better understanding because I remembered what my parents and my parents told us. There's nothing new under the sun. These are human beings. They interact with each other the way human beings interact with each other. They have the same feelings and emotions. They're not coming from Mars down here as polygamists, and they have polygamous practices which are completely alien to our understanding. This happens in common parlance. You can go in some neighborhoods and places around the world, and you'll see the same situation. Fathers will neglect their natural kids for the kids of their priority or first family because this is who they've prioritized. Kody prioritizes Robin because that's his wife. He's not as concerned with Janelle. And more to the point, Janelle is playing that position. She's not sitting, even when she apologized, I should have focused on you more. That's a side chick thing to say. I should have focused on my kids. I should have been focused more on you if I wanted this relationship to work. Here's the other secret. There's always this thing that, if side chicks, the wife don't know about the side chick. That's a misnomer. Because you can have wives or husbands who are fully aware that their partner is going out dating, being intimate with, spending special time with other people. And as long as it's not in their face, and as long as you don't embarrass them, those are usually the two rules that you hear in these situations. As long as they don't embarrass me, and as long as it ain't thrown up in my face, you do you, boo-boo, and keep your business in the street, right? But don't bring it here to my house. Even when they talked about holidays, what were they doing? They were going over to Kody's house because that's the first house. Yeah, his wife knew about it. You can come over when I'm accepting you to come over, but you don't just pop up in my house. Because no, we're not equal. We're not the same. And so when you look at it, does it make a difference that they all knew about each other? Absolutely not. Why can't Janelle come back into the family? Here's another little twist. When they asked Robin during the little confessional, what would happen if one of the wives wanted to come back into the family? Oh, no. Why? Because they violated the rule. You can't embarrass me. They embarrassed her. They put her on Front Street. They made her look stupid. So no, she doesn't want them back in the family. It becomes different. When you look at it through that lens, I think it makes a lot more sense. So like the expectation that we always have that and try justification of, these are his kids too. These are his wives too. Why is he treating one wife better than he's treating the other wives? Why is he treating the other kids better than he's treating the other kids? Because at the end of the day, that's his wife. Those are his kids. That's his family. The OG3, the OG13, those are not his family. I'll say it that way. I'm not going to go into like the other stuff. But that's basically it. Yeah, they're my family. They're my kids. But this is my priority. My family is my priority. When he sits around and he says that he's a good family man and he's a good husband and this, that, and other, that's what I think he's referring to. We all kind of roll our eyes. How you going to be a good dad when you're only dealing with 5 of your 13, 18 kids? Because this is my family. I'm a good family man. I'm not a good, dad to everybody, but I'm a good family man. And I think that that's the difference. Let me know what you guys think, because I know there's going to be some pushback on this, and I appreciate that. I'm not just saying this. And by the way, I'm not just saying this to be salacious or try to, garner clicks and views because I'm going to say something crazy. If you look at it genuinely from the perspective of Janelle being a side chick, when she sat there and she was having a conversation with Kody in season 16, and they were sitting at Salsa Brava, and she was saying that she wanted to get back because they had great conversation and they could always talk and they were best friends and all that. And what could she do to get back in good with Kody? And Kody looked her in the face and said, you could start being more like Robin. Because Robin does this, Robin does that. Start being more like my wife, and I will give you more consideration. At no point during that conversation did he say, I'm going to elevate you to the same position I'm putting that Robin is in. you're going to be at the same seat. He just said you're going to get more of my attention, and it'll make our relationships easier. There's another part of like the whole idea of being a side piece. One of the rules to the side piece is I come to your house for comfort and convenience. I don't come to your house for confusion. So when he's looking at the side piece, you look at it from the perspective of him dealing with a side piece. When she was creating comfort or and convenience for him, then he was more than willing to come over to a house, stay at her house. But when she started making decisions that were inconvenient for him, they didn't put him in a status or make him feel good to be there, he stopped coming. And if you look at it from the realm of this is his wife, and he sees her as an equal partner, and he sees her as a true blue member of the Brown family organization, then he wouldn't be able to cut her off the way he cuts her off. He wouldn't be able to stop seeing her and stop dealing with her because she became inconvenient. Brittany came in with a comment. She's one of the mega moderators. Salute. She came in with a comment and said that community is inconvenient. When you deal with people and you have relationships, there's part of your relationship that goes great. But the truth of the matter is that dealing with other people, other people's issues, other people's problems, other people's lives when they're out lifing is inconvenient to you. But that's what makes a relationship strong. You're willing to endure that inconvenience for them and for their benefit, just like they're willing to endure inconveniences that you put on them for your benefit. That's a relationship. That's community. Kody is not willing to do that. And that's why so many people are upset with the idea that Janelle is willing to put herself in a situation where she has to give up so much of herself to be in this relationship with this person. Because she's willing to make the sacrifices and be inconvenienced for Kody, but he's not willing to reciprocate that inconvenience. And it is what it is, but that is the relationship of the side chick or the side piece. They will be inconvenienced. When I show up to your house, I do expect to have a good time. I do expect you to have steak and potatoes when I show up. I don't care if you guys are eating peas, beans, and smashed sandwiches where you take 2 pieces of bread, smash them together, and that's your dinner, and that's what you feeding your kids. When I show up, I'm eating steak. I'm eating potatoes. I'm eating whole vegetables. You go to Whole Foods for my stuff. You going down to the Costco buying big boxes of bulk for you and your kids. That's the side chick role that he's enforcing. And it wasn't just with Christine. It wasn't just with Mary. It wasn't just with Janelle. That's how he rolled. And that's the distinct difference between Robin, who is his wife, versus the other 3 women. Let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment down below. Try to refrain as best you can from the cussing, but leave a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys have to speak French, that's fine. Do it on SpeakPipe. Call in. We'll do it. Handle it during the live show. If you think I'm full of crap, let me know. If you think I'm right, though, and I'm onto something, let me know that too. All right. That's my take. I'm James, and this has been my take on reality, and I'm out.
'Cause I've been living life right like I